Welcome to our channel. Today we're talking about the book The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I'm fascinated by this idea that we all have this incredible power within us,
Yeah.
our subconscious mind, that can literally shape our reality.
It really is a fascinating concept. And what's interesting is that Murphy, being a chemist, approaches this topic almost like a scientific formula.
Oh, wow.
He draws these compelling analogies between the predictable reactions in chemistry and the workings of the subconscious mind.
That's such a cool way to think about it. So instead of some mystical, airy-fairy concept,
Yeah.
it's more like if you combine the right ingredients,
Right.
thoughts, beliefs, and feelings, you can create predictable reactions in your life.
Exactly. And one of the core principles he emphasizes is the law of belief.
Okay.
Essentially, this means your subconscious mind acts on what it believes to be true, regardless of whether those beliefs are objectively accurate or not.
Okay. Now that's both powerful and a little scary, right?
It is.
Because if our subconscious mind doesn't discriminate between what's true and what we simply believe to be true, doesn't that mean we could be unknowingly sabotaging ourselves
Yeah.
with limiting beliefs?
That's exactly the point Murphy drives home.
Yeah.
He uses vivid examples to illustrate this, like the story of the passenger on a ship who becomes seasick simply because someone suggests they might.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't the motion of the ocean that made them sick, it was their belief that they would get seasick.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly.
And that makes me think about all the times I've psyched myself out of doing something because I didn't believe I could succeed. What if I've been unknowingly limiting myself all this time?
It's definitely something to consider.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Murphy also points out that different people react differently to the same suggestion based on their subconscious conditioning.
Okay.
Someone with a strong sense of self-confidence might be completely immune to that kind of negative suggestion.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like the sailor Murphy describes, who remains unaffected by the suggestion of seasickness because he's convinced of his own immunity.
Right.
So it's not just about the external suggestions we're exposed to, it's about how our subconscious filters and interprets those suggestions.
Precisely. And that's where the concept of autosuggestion comes in.
Okay.
Murphy argues that we're constantly feeding our subconscious mind with suggestions, either positive or negative, through our self-talk, our beliefs, and the images we hold in our minds.
So if we're constantly telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, or I'll never be able to do that, those suggestions take root in our subconscious mind and shape our experiences.
Exactly.
Right.
And the opposite is true as well. If we
Oh.
consciously choose to feed our subconscious mind with empowering suggestions, with positive affirmations that reinforce our strengths and abilities, we can actually reprogram our thinking and create new, more positive outcomes.
That's where channels like Affirmify Journey on YouTube come in handy. They offer a ton of great content on using affirmations to create positive change.
Right.
It's all about shifting those negative self-talk patterns into something more empowering.
Absolutely. And Murphy provides some compelling examples of this in the book, like the story of the young singer who had a beautiful voice,
Right.
but consistently failed auditions because she kept telling herself she would fail.
Oh, that's awful.
She was unknowingly using negative autosuggestions, and those beliefs were sabotaging her potential.
It's heartbreaking, but it's also a powerful illustration of how our thoughts can literally create our reality.
Yeah.
If she had focused on positive affirmations, on visualizing herself succeeding, who knows what she could have achieved.
Exactly.
Wow.
He contrasts that with the story of a man who successfully used positive autosuggestions to overcome his bad temper.
Okay.
By consistently affirming that he was becoming more patient, more understanding, and more joyful, he actually transformed his personality.
So this isn't just wishful thinking. It's about taking control of our inner dialogue and consciously choosing to feed our subconscious mind with the thoughts and beliefs that will support us in achieving our goals.
Precisely. And it's not just about mental and emotional well-being. Murphy suggests that this power of the subconscious extends to our physical health as well.
Okay, now we're getting into some really fascinating territory. This is where things get a bit mind-blowing, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me more about how this works.
Well, Murphy argues that the subconscious mind has a profound influence over our bodily functions and sensations.
Okay.
He cites the placebo effect as evidence, the idea that people can experience real healing simply because they believe they're receiving a powerful treatment, even if it's just a sugar pill.
Right. I've always found that so fascinating. It's like the power of belief literally overrides our physical reality.
And he takes it a step further, referencing the fact that hypnotic subjects can be induced to experience symptoms of various illnesses simply through suggestion.
Oh my gosh.
It seems our beliefs can not only make us well, but they can also make us sick.
Wow. That's a pretty powerful statement.
It is.
But it also makes me wonder if our subconscious mind has this much control over our bodies. Does that mean we can all just ditch our doctors and heal ourselves through the power of thought?
It's not quite that simple, but Murphy does present numerous instances of healing through belief in the book.
Like what? Give me some examples. I'm intrigued.
For instance, he talks about the case of Dr. James Esdile, a surgeon who performed hundreds of major surgeries using only mental anesthesia.
What?
His patients reported feeling no pain and their recovery rates were phenomenal.
Wow.
It's a powerful testament to the untapped potential of the subconscious mind for pain management and healing.
Surgery with no painkillers. That's incredible.
He also recounts the story of a father whose arm was torn off in an accident, and that traumatic event somehow triggered a spontaneous healing in his daughter, who had been suffering from arthritis and a severe skin disease.
That's wild. It's like the power of the subconscious mind transcended physical boundaries.
Exactly. And he shares the story of a man who was healed of tuberculosis simply by believing in a piece of the true cross, which turned out to be just an ordinary piece of wood.
Oh, wow.
The point is, the belief was so strong that it triggered a healing response in his body.
So it's not necessarily about the object of belief itself. It's about the power of belief itself.
Exactly. And he also mentions Madame Bayer, a woman who regained her sight at the shrine at Lourdes.
Huh?
Murphy suggests that this demonstrates the subconscious mind's ability to even heal what we might consider dead nerves if the belief is strong enough.
So what can we take away from all these examples? Is there a practical way to tap into this healing power of the subconscious mind?
Murphy emphasizes the importance of feeding your subconscious mind with positive healing suggestions.
Okay.
And this isn't just about physical ailments. It can work for emotional and mental well-being, too.
Right.
He encourages us to visualize ourselves as healthy, whole, and vibrant, to feel the joy and gratitude of already being healed.
It sounds like a lot of the same principles we've been talking about, the power of belief, autosuggestion, and creating new mental patterns. But it's fascinating to see how these concepts can be applied to physical healing as well.
Absolutely. And remember, while these anecdotes are incredibly inspiring, it's always a good idea to consult with qualified medical professionals for any health concerns.
Of course. But it's still pretty mind-blowing to think about the potential that lies within us.
It really is. And this power of the subconscious isn't just limited to healing. Murphy suggests we can harness this incredible force to achieve success and abundance in all areas of our lives.
Okay, now you're really speaking my language. Tell me more about how this works.
It's all about aligning your conscious goals and desires with the power of your subconscious mind. Murphy uses the analogy of a seed.
Okay, I love analogies. Break this one down for me.
Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You don't see the growth happening underground, but you trust that the seed is drawing in everything it needs to thrive. It's the same with your subconscious. When you plant a clear intention, a desire, and you nurture it with belief and positive emotion, your subconscious mind goes to work orchestrating events and attracting opportunities to bring that desire into reality.
So it's not about forcing things to happen. It's about setting the intention and then trusting the process.
Exactly. And he tells this incredible story of a young boy who from a very early age envisioned himself as a doctor. He held that image in his mind so vividly, so consistently, that it eventually became his reality.
That's so powerful. And it aligns with so many success stories we hear, right? People who achieve remarkable things often talk about the power of visualization and unwavering belief.
Exactly. But I think what's often overlooked is the role of the subconscious mind in all of this. It's not just about positive thinking. It's about impressing that desire onto your subconscious mind, feeling the reality of it as if it's already happening.
But what about those times when we feel stuck, when we're working towards a goal, but not seeing any progress? How do we deal with those moments of doubt and frustration?
Murphy addresses this too. He talks about a common stumbling block: envy. When we focus on what others have, when we envy their success or their possessions, we're actually creating a negative energy that blocks abundance from flowing into our own lives.
It's like we're putting up a wall between ourselves and what we want.
Precisely. And instead of envying others, Murphy suggests cultivating an attitude of rejoicing in their prosperity. When we genuinely celebrate others' successes, we create a positive energy that attracts more abundance to ourselves.
So it's not about comparing ourselves or feeling resentful. It's about shifting our mindset to one of abundance and gratitude.
Exactly. And this applies to all areas of life, not just financial abundance. It's about cultivating a belief that there's enough for everyone, that we all have the potential to thrive and succeed.
This all sounds great in theory. But how do we actually put this into practice? Are there any specific techniques that Murphy recommends for harnessing the power of the subconscious mind to attract abundance?
He emphasizes the power of imagination and belief. He encourages readers to vividly imagine having the money they desire, to feel the joy and gratitude as if they already possess it.
So it's about creating a mental and emotional blueprint of the reality we want to experience.
Exactly. And he stresses the importance of not limiting ourselves by overthinking that how. Don't get bogged down in the logistics. Just focus on the desired outcome, feel its reality, and trust that your subconscious mind will figure out the details.
It sounds like a lot of this comes down to trusting ourselves, trusting the process, and trusting the power of our subconscious mind.
You're absolutely right. It's about surrendering control, letting go of the need to micromanage every aspect of our lives, and allowing the universe to work its magic.
This is all so fascinating, it makes so much sense, but I'm curious, is there anything in the book about how we can access the wisdom and guidance of our subconscious mind? It seems like we've been focusing on how to influence it, but can it also guide us?
That's a great question, and it leads us to another fascinating aspect of the book: intuition. Murphy suggests that our subconscious mind is constantly communicating with us through intuition, those gut feelings, impulses, even dreams. It's that quiet voice within offering wisdom and direction.
Okay, this is where things get really interesting for me. I've always struggled with trusting my intuition, so I'm curious to hear how this plays out in the book.
Murphy highlights the importance of learning to listen to that inner voice, to trust those subtle hints and nudges from within. He even shares a story about a young woman who had a vivid dream urging her to reject a job offer. She listened to that inner guidance, and later it turned out the company went bankrupt. Her subconscious mind knew something her conscious mind didn't.
Wow, that's amazing. I've definitely had experiences where I ignored my gut feeling and ended up regretting it. But it's so easy to get caught up in the noise of everyday life and miss those subtle signals, right?
Exactly. We're bombarded with so much external information and opinions that it can be challenging to tune into our own inner wisdom. But Murphy emphasizes the importance of cultivating that connection, of creating space for stillness and reflection so we can hear that quiet voice within.
So how do we actually do that? It sounds a bit mystical, almost like magic. Are there any practical techniques for accessing this subconscious guidance?
He offers a few practical suggestions.
Yeah.
One is to simply identify a problem or a desire you want guidance on, then create a quiet space for yourself, perhaps through meditation or deep relaxation, and in that calm, receptive state, pose the question to your subconscious mind.
And just wait for an answer.
Not necessarily. He suggests paying attention to your dreams, those fleeting thoughts and images that pop into your mind, any intuitive nudges or feelings you experience. It's about becoming more attuned to the subtle ways your subconscious communicates.
It's like learning a new language, the language of our inner world.
Exactly. And he emphasizes the importance of not dismissing those flashes of insight or those gut feelings. Write them down, ponder them, see if they resonate with your deeper truth.
This is making me think about all the times I've had a sudden aha moment, a flash of inspiration that seemed to come out of nowhere. Maybe those were messages from my subconscious all along.
It's definitely possible. And he also encourages keeping a dream journal. Jot down any fragments or feelings you remember as soon as you wake up. Over time, you might start noticing patterns or recurring themes that offer insights into your subconscious beliefs and desires.
So it's about paying attention to those whispers from within, not just the loud external voices that are constantly vying for our attention.
Precisely. And remember, the key to unlocking this inner wisdom is trust. Trusting your intuition, trusting the process, and trusting that your subconscious mind has your best interests at heart.
This all ties back to the idea that we have this incredible power within us, but it's up to us to cultivate it, to nurture it, and to learn how to access it.
Exactly. And the power of your subconscious mind provides a roadmap for doing just that. It's about recognizing that we are not just victims of circumstance, but powerful creators of our own reality.
So if we can learn to tap into this power, if we can align our conscious thoughts and beliefs with the incredible force of our subconscious mind, what's possible?
The possibilities are truly limitless, and that's what makes this whole journey so exciting and empowering. But before we dive into that, let's take a quick break.
So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind.
We've explored the law of belief, the impact of autosuggestion, and even the incredible potential for healing through the subconscious.
But there's one more crucial aspect that Murphy emphasizes that I think we need to address.
You're talking about forgiveness, aren't you?
Exactly. Holding on to grudges and resentment. It's like we're carrying around this heavy baggage that weighs us down.
It really is. And Murphy argues that this negativity, these unresolved emotions, can create blockages in our lives, preventing us from experiencing true peace and happiness.
So it's not just about being the bigger person or letting someone off the hook.
Right. It's about recognizing that holding on to anger and resentment ultimately hurts us more than anyone else. It creates a toxic environment within our own minds.
And that negativity can manifest in all sorts of ways, right?
Absolutely. It can impact our physical health, our relationships, our overall well-being.
But forgiveness, it's not always easy, is it?
It's definitely a process, and it often starts with forgiving ourselves.
Now, that's an interesting concept. What does Murphy say about forgiving ourselves?
He points out that we often carry around guilt and shame for past mistakes. We beat ourselves up for things we said or did years ago.
Oh, I'm definitely guilty of that.
We all are to some extent, and Murphy emphasizes that we need to release that burden, to acknowledge our imperfections and offer ourselves compassion.
So it's about recognizing that we're human, we're all learning and growing, and that we don't have to carry the weight of those past mistakes.
Exactly. And once we can forgive ourselves, it becomes easier to extend that forgiveness to others.
It's like we're creating space for more love and compassion in our lives, both for ourselves and for those around us.
And Murphy suggests that forgiveness has a ripple effect. When we genuinely forgive someone, when we release that negativity, we create a positive energy that flows outward.
So forgiveness isn't just a personal act. It has the power to transform our relationships and even impact the world around us.
Absolutely. And it's important to remember that forgiveness is not a one-time event. It's an ongoing practice.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we might need to forgive the same person multiple times for the same offense. As we grow and evolve, our understanding of forgiveness might deepen. We might uncover new layers of hurt or resentment that need to be addressed.
It's like peeling back the layers of an onion.
Exactly. And each time we choose to forgive, we're choosing to let go of the past and create a more peaceful present.
So forgiveness is ultimately an act of freedom.
It is. It's about liberating ourselves from the chains of negativity and embracing the power of love and compassion.
Well said. And that's a powerful message to end on. This deep dive into the power of your subconscious mind has been truly eye-opening. It's amazing to think about the incredible potential that lies within each of us.
It really is. And remember, this is just the beginning. Keep exploring, keep learning, keep tapping into the power of your subconscious mind.
If you're looking for more resources to support you on this journey, be sure to check out lingopediamagazine.com. They offer a wealth of information on personal development and utilizing the power of your mind.
And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating discussions like this one.
Hit that like button and share this episode with anyone who might benefit from exploring the incredible power of their own subconscious mind.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, you have the power within you to create the life you desire.